What's up, y'all? Let me make sure that it's public because I gotta read y'all comments about this game before I even start. Let me make it public real quick. Okay. Number one, that game sucked. That was probably one of the worst games I've seen in a while. But the Falcons managed to beat a team that's just as bad as them, or it may not even be worse. The Giants blows it again in the fourth quarter. The Giants were terrible today in the fourth quarter, actually. But hey, we pulled it out. Got to come from YouTube saying congratulations to you. Thank you, man. It was an ugly game, but we won. Very ugly game. Very, very ugly game, to be honest with you. But again, the Falcons find a way to win that football game. It was 14-7 in the fourth quarter. They tied it up, had a touchdown pass to Lee Smith, who was actually the best play call of the day. And they got a stop in Younghoe winning field goal. That was a very pathetic football game. There's a lot of things that I saw in that game that we're bad. We're still a bad football team. Don't get me wrong. That was a very bad game, bad football team. They're just worse than us. But Michael Thomas said the Falcons defense showed up, kept the team in the game because the offense was garbage. Absolutely. The offense was bad for 3 quarters to the point where everything I honestly talked about on this stream earlier, I said that Kyle Pitts could get going in this game. Kyle Pitts only had 3 catches. He had a big catch on that game-winning drive for the Falcons. Calvin Ridley, he had an okay day. They really could have had a bigger day, but the offense was so anemic for 3 quarters that it wasn't until those last 2 drives where the Falcons actually showed up and actually won a football game. So the offense got a lot of work to do. I still think Arthur Smith is way in over his head. Arthur Smith has no clue what he's doing because at point, I'm going to tell you my issue with this offense. There's too much decoy stuff going on with this team. You draft your tight end to be the number 4 pick overall, and Kyle Pitts didn't get a ball complete to the third. If I'm not mistaken, maybe the 4th. But yeah, Kyle Pitts didn't get a ball thrown in his direction to the 4th quarter. You cannot. There is no way you can go into a football game and your number 1 pick is not getting the ball like that. Like, you cannot have that happen late in the game. Luckily, we got away with it and won. Amy McLaughlin is checking in from Facebook. What's up, sis? She said, we suck. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. And if I'm a New York Giants fan, I'm sick to my stomach right now because that's a football game. You should have won. We had injuries. AJ Terrell's not even in this game. The defense played well despite the fact that the offense was totally awful for 3 quarters. But in that fourth, those last 2 drives, they found a way to pull it together to get the game. Hey, big sis. Let's see. Julie Shepard said we need to sign Mitchell Schwartz. That would be a great signing, honestly. We need to get a right tackle because I'm so glad that you brought this up because what's his name? Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to say his name. My bad. Caleb McGrary, 1st round draft bust. Lindstrom's a very solid right guard. Caleb McGrary is awful. I cannot stand Caleb McGrary. Caleb McGrary actually on the fumble before the half, that Matt Ryan fumble, Caleb McGrary was standing there watching after he got bull rushed a couple times. He's horrible. He's not a good right tackle. We're going to have to be looking at a right tackle this offseason, actually, for sure. Let's go back to Thomas from YouTube. What's going on, bro? He says, shout out to the defensive PI on the Giants because Matt Ryan missed the wide open Kyle Pitts. Yes, he did. He definitely missed Kyle Pitts for a touchdown on that play. He missed Kyle Pitts several times in that game, to be honest with you. But honestly, the Giants, they should be sick to their stomach. The Giants had several opportunities to put their game away and couldn't do it. The Giants, even on the they had several opportunities, Saquon really, I'm gonna go to the stat line. Matter of fact, we haven't done that yet. Let me pull the stats up. But all in all, the Falcons found a way to win this football game. But I gotta credit that defense. That defense played well. Unfortunately, there was injuries with Sterling Shepard had an injury. They had several injuries on the Giants in the Giants receiving core, but the defense stood tall despite the fact they actually played a good game. They kept this a game when the offense just chose not to show up for most of the game. And to be honest with you, one question, I'm not sure how everyone else is feeling about it right now. I really do feel like Matt Ryan might be may not be confident anymore in his abilities as a passer, because there's several times where you would think they would try the ball downfield at least 15 to 20 yards. If maybe you guys can tell me, I don't remember them throwing the ball past 20 yards this football game. If they did, I seen a ton of check downs. I seen a ton of short screens, out routes to Pitts, short routes to Ridley. At the end of the day, I don't think Matt Ryan is confident in himself that he has it anymore, to be honest with you. I don't think he has it. And let me go to this comments. Nelson, what's going on, bro? He said our DC is the bright spot for this season. He just need better talent to work with. I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that. The defense coming into today was the worst defense in the league because they gave a lot of points. But to be honest with you, I've seen positives within all of that, and I've seen it today. Let me go to Julie Shepard. She said, I think Matt is uncomfortable with a new coach and he doesn't have his number one mate. I agree. Today also kind of showed me that Calvin Ridley I don't think Calvin Ridley is as confident as he should be to be a wide receiver number one. Because there are several times where he's not ready to take contact. That play that Zacchaeus caught on that touchdown drive that ended up going to Zacchaeus, I don't think Calvin Ridley was stuck in there and made that play. I think he might be still a little nervous about taking certain hits. So, that sucks. Amy said that, very sad with Baby Bama as well. Yeah, it's very tough. It seems like they don't have any confidence. It seems like Ridley may be a little unconfident in himself right now. He's not really trying to take on a lot of contact. It's just this team has a lot of glaring holes, but they found a way to get a win today. I thought I had them winning this game close. I picked them to win today because I felt like the Giants just couldn't pull it together, and it showed again today. The Giants had opportunities to put this thing away. Let's see. Quentin Butler said, I'm sorry if Kyle Shanahan was OC, we'd be 2-1 or 3-0, poor coaching personnel. Yeah, the Falcons, unfortunately, the fourth quarter got a hand in Tampa. The game was a 9-point game week one against Philly, and then it got out of hand in the fourth. And then today was the first time the Falcons actually scored in the fourth quarter. So, it's tough. It's tough seeing you guys go out there and don't play well. So they didn't look good. They didn't look the best. They did enough to win. It was a very ugly win, but they won. Let's see. Leap before what's going on, bro? Oh, God. I know you guys won today. You 2-1. That's all I can say. But again, the Falcons found a way to win the football game, which is something they haven't done in a while. And let's see, Michael Thomas said TJ Green played great outside that deep ball he allowed. To be honest with you, that was a bad move on that deep ball either. That was actually good defense. It was just a better play by CJ Board in that first quarter play. But I'm liking TJ Green. TJ Green is actually starting to turn out to be a solid corner on this squad. He may not be an outside guy, but he can be a rotational corner. I definitely like him. Let me also get this out the way. Everyone knows how much heat I've been giving this guy. Isaiah Oliver has played well this season. He has absolutely played well this season. In that slice, played well this season. He had that big fumble recovery. Isaiah Oliver is playing the position that he's supposed to play. And let me shout Dean Pease out for that, because Dean Pease actually is not a bad defensive coordinator. We just don't have the talent. Let's see. Quentin Butler said, what's going on, bro? He said, why can't Falcons leadership admit that we are in a rebuild? I don't know either, honestly. I don't know either. I don't know why they don't want to admit we're in a rebuild. The talent is deficient on this team, especially defensively. So they need to go ahead and move into a potential rebuild. Michael Thomas said Dante Fowler Jr., he's actually showed up the last 2 weeks. I got to give it to him. I actually had him having a decent game today against that below average New York Giant offensive line. But even with it being said, he got after Daniel Jones today. I got to credit him on that. Grady had a sack today. They did enough. The defense played well. Julius Shepard said, I'm personally a huge Justin Fields fan, and I feel like it could have been better than Pitts, but I mean, we need to give Pitts. I agree. I personally would have took a quarterback at 4. I was very, very upset that we didn't take a quarterback at 4, to be honest with you. But I also agree with you on that. Kyle Pitts, I see potential in Kyle Pitts, but we don't know what he is until he gets the ball. Like, I see several people trying to say he's a draft bust, he's this, he's that. He's not bad. He's not a bad player. He just don't get the ball. I don't know if Arthur Smith I don't know if it's because of the lack of talent he had in Tennessee, even though Jonnu Smith was not a bad tight end. But you actually got 2 solid ones in Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts. He should be cooking like that New England offense was in 2011. Lee McFarland said the Falcons need to move on from Matt Ryan. I do think that that does need to happen. The issue is, one, he has a very, very bad cap hit of, I believe, $48.5 million that season. And also the Falcons are in a tough spot because we should have drafted a quarterback last year. Matt he just don't have it anymore right now. I hate to see it because I've always liked Matt Ryan. I've always been a fan of Matt Ryan. I still like Matt Ryan, but I just when Father Time is Father Time, to be honest with you. Antonio Elder, what's going on, man? How you doing? Says somebody get this man an ESPN job. Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Julie Shepard said resign Gurley. Gurley might actually work in this offense, honestly. He might would. But because Mike Davis had some decent runs. I just don't think we have a solid run blocking squad. We want to run the ball, but we don't really have run blockers like that. It sucks. I just think the Falcons are in a spot where they don't really know. They don't really know what they want to be. Today, the offense was a demon for on and off throughout the game. They had 2 solid drives. And, Cordero Patterson's been a solid guy for this team. Arguably, Cordero Patterson is the MVP of the team right now. Hold on, Mike. Oh, God. You were reading my mind. Cordero Patterson's been an underrated pickup. Didn't expect this type of production from him. I actually expected him to be productive, but I'm like you, not that productive. I thought that was absolutely outstanding play calling on the game-winning drive to put him out at wide receiver and run a screen to him. It's stuff like that I want to see with this team because at the end of the day, Kyle really is a solid wide receiver. Kyle Pitts can be a monster if they get him the ball. I think the Falcons can work with the group that they have, but I just think, as Julie mentioned, Matt Ryan, usually year one, Matt Ryan's never comfortable with a new head coach. As you remember, probably 2015, that was his worst season as a Falcon. He's not really the most comfortable guy with a new head coach. Even though this is an offensive-minded guy, I don't know if this is – I don't know. It's a lot that has to do with this team isn't really that talented, on top of the fact that there's a lot of glaring holes with the team. I just don't really know what the Falcons are going to go with at this point. But I will say this again, the defense. We have given the defense so much heat. I got to give them credit today. We don't win this game without that defense. That defense played well. Defense played outstanding, honestly. You did enough despite not having AJ Terrell. Like, it's amazing how the defense played today. I'm actually going to pull up the box score. I usually do it. I hadn't done it yet. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I haven't done it just yet. Give me a second, everyone. Let's pull this box score up so we can kind of get an idea of what the stat line looked like today for the Falcons and Giants. Trying to pull up the box score. Bear with me just 1 second. Can I find that box score? Trying to pull it up. Okay, John Pete, what's going on, bro? He said, do you think Patterson had a solid game for the Birds? He's actually been the best player on the team all season long. Cordero Patterson is the only one that truly shows up for this team when it matters. So, yeah, he had a good game today. I think Cordero Patterson made several plays that got this team sparked. That game-winning drive doesn't happen without that big play to open the drive up. So, yeah, Cordero Patterson has been more than productive for this team. I think the Falcons actually struck gold going to get him in free agency. And I just wish that, we get a little more going with that guy. But, again, he is productive. I like him. I like him. 1 second, guys. Excuse me. I'm trying to get the box score up. I cannot find this box score. Tevin Ratcliffe said, "Give Cordell Patterson his superstar back at Madden." He shouldn't have had to take it away from him because he's outplayed his contract already. And I don't know what his contract was coming into the season, but he's outplayed himself. I'm really proud of that guy because again, the Falcons have needed production in some way. We don't have a true number 2 receiver, so getting him going is a outstanding thing for the Falcons. All right, I got the box score up and pulled up real quick. John said, I really like Patterson's versatility, can run the ball and also line as a receiver. Hope they bring him back. I do too. I think he should be given a second chance next season. But Cordell Patterson has always been productive everywhere he's went. I don't understand why he's bounced around the league the way he has, but I've always liked Cordell Patterson. Okay, pull this box score up. All right, let me mute this. Okay. Matt Ryan had 27 of 36 for 243 today. Let me break this big screen, excuse me. Okay, Matt Ryan actually had a quarterback rating over 100 today. Actually, pretty good day for him, despite how bad the offense looked. 27 of 36, 243, 2 touchdown passes. He got sacked 3 times in this game. Daniel Jones was 24 35, 266, no touchdown passes. Saquon scored for them in this game earlier. They only had 1 touchdown. That's another thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Cordell Patterson also had 100 yards combined for hold on, let me see. You said my name is Luke, this is my mom account. I'll be back next Sunday. Hey, I appreciate it. I definitely thank you for coming in and giving your support. I appreciate that. DJ Antoine 79 said, good game so far. Good. Thank you. Tevin Ratcliffe said Adoree Jackson dropped 2. Yes, he did. Him and Logan Ryan combined dropped 4 picks. So that bailed us out too. I know those guys are going to be sick to their stomach when they go back and look at the stat line. Kenny Galladay had a good return, 4 for 64 today. Lee Smith and Amalade Zaccheaus. If you're fantasy guys and you had anybody other than those 2, you will be angry. You will be absolutely angry for that because, again, they were the ones who produced today. Let's see, as far as the defense sacks, Grady Jarrett and Dante Fowler Jr. had sacks in this game. Falcons had 2 sacks today. The Giants had 3. Again, Falcons did a pretty good job. Just looking at the stat line. Falcons, let's go here. The Falcons didn't run for 100 yards today. They ran for 69 on the day. Antonio Huddle said, very, very close game. Yes, it was. It was a very close game. It could have went either way. The Giants won the time of possession. They had 8 penalties. That was a huge part of this football game and how they lost. That also the Falcons did something different today that I've always been talking about on the stream. They were 2 for 2 in the red zone. The Falcons scored 2 touchdowns today. We always talk about how the Falcons let us down in the red zone. They were productive today. Lee Smith and Zaccheaus both had touchdown catches today. That was awesome for the Falcons to get production in the red zone. As we saw, let me see what it looked like on third down today. The Falcons were 5 of 13. The Giants were 7 of 14. Despite the Giants going 50%, they still lost the football game. But again, it's just the plays. The Giants are, for the second week in a row, can look back at a game and say, hey, we probably should be 2-1. But it is what it is. The Falcons got that win. They're coming home next week to play the Washington football team. And Washington looked very bad against Buffalo. I think the last I saw they were down 43-13, if I'm not mistaken. But the Falcons got the win today. Salute to the Falcons. They're back home finally. Next week, they're going to be home against the Washington football team. If you all remember on my stream, Devon Brown, he's going to be back. We're going to be talking about Falcons Washington next week together. So that's going to be fun. Tonio, what's going on, bro? He said we escaped, brother. Yes, we did. We escaped. I agree. I'm not sitting here out here saying, oh my God, we won. We won. It is what it is. Michael Thomas said that Saquon still doesn't look right. I don't know if it's new or ever. Yes, there was times in the game where I thought Saquon was going to break a big run. He just didn't. You hate to see a talent like that not play well. It just sucked, man. It did. But yeah, guys, like I said, the Falcons got a win today. I'm happy for them. Next week, they got Washington. They're back in the bins. That Washington team got smoked earlier against the Buffalo Bills, but Buffalo is one of the best teams in the league. It's going to be interesting to see what the Falcons bring to the table next week. Let's see. John Peden said, add Patterson in all your fantasy leagues right now. Whoever doesn't, take that advice right there because, hey, he actually did produce about 10 fantasy points, if I'm not mistaken. I'll find out. I'll definitely talk about it later if you're on my Facebook. But I appreciate everybody that's tuned in on this page. We will be back on here actually probably Tuesday or Wednesday talking about a weekend review. We're going to review all the teams, not just you. I'll be talking about more than the Falcons this week. So looking forward to it. Again, the Falcons pull off a 17-14 win. So we'll see you guys next time. Go Falcons. Good win.